With electric bikes and scooters becoming a common sight across Nevada, so are the accidents involving them.
That's why Sam Mirejovsky from Sam & Ash Injury Law is joining us this morning to break down the rapid rise, what the law states, and the things you need to know. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. Great to be here with you.
Well,
and
it's great to have you here.
I'm glad we're talking about this because it's important.
Yeah, let's kind of start off with the basics. For maybe people who might not be familiar too much, what exactly are e-bikes and e-scooters?
Well, these are basically bicycles that have small electric motors, but the big difference is that they go as fast as 30 miles an hour, where a regular pedal bike, you're probably lucky if you can get up to 8. So this, one of the things that I've seen here is it builds false confidence in people to go where normally you probably wouldn't as a bicyclist, and also where you certainly wouldn't as a pedestrian. And you go where cars are because you can almost keep up with the pace of traffic. And the resulting accidents are horrific. You will never win against a car. It's not possible. So very dangerous out there.
I mean, obviously, that's one thing, but surely there must be another reason. Is it purely the rise in popularity that we're seeing more accidents? Is it overconfidence in the equipment, or a lack of personal responsibility, being aware of your surroundings, those kind of things? What are you seeing, and what are you getting a feel for?
Well, accidents are up 200%, right? So there's also the number of e-bikes that are just out there have increased, right? This is a popular item. Christmas is coming up. I'd be surprised if not a lot of kids, a lot of teens across the valley get new e-bikes. But later today, this afternoon, I have a mediation on a brain injury case, an 8-year-old that was riding an e-bike. And here's the tragic thing about it. If you're out there, if you give your child an e-bike, you've got to really make sure that they're operating it safely, that they're not going out on the road, that they're wearing a helmet. And you really should make sure you also get the e-bikes that don't go too fast. There's some that go, like I said, 28, 29 miles an hour, almost 30. I mean, that's not going, in some cases, unfortunately, not going to be a survivable accident.
Right.
Yeah. What are the rules of the road for these devices here in Nevada?
Well, there are restrictions depending on the type of e-bikes. There's 3 different levels, and so they vary. But if you're operating a bike on the road, you have to obey all traffic laws. For example, you've got to stop at a stop sign. And what happens is kids, particularly, but even some adults, think they're on a bike, they're not in a car, and that the rules don't apply. And the reason we have rules is so that other drivers can anticipate what you're going to do. Right. So, if you blow through a stop sign and you get hit, that's a problem. Now, one thing I want to mention here, very important, if you get into an accident like this, a lot of times the police and the investigators will just presume you're at fault if you're on the e-bike. And that's not always true. There are plenty of times where the driver is at fault. So really, you've got to get a lawyer right away. You do not want to do this alone. You might get a police report that is against you, that says that you're at fault. And even if the police report says that the other party's at fault, get an attorney, get representation, because you need to know what your rights are and you need to fight. The insurance companies are going to want to presume you responsible simply because you're on the bike and they're thinking you were the one that was not paying attention.
Right. Obviously, you mentioned, drivers need to be careful, and the anticipation of the laws of the road, which are there for everyone. What can everyone do, e-bike riders, drivers, car drivers, to make everyone feel safer and to try and avoid these kind of situations happening more frequently?
Can I tell you that the number one thing we all need to do is stay off our phones? Because what happens is, you're on your phone, take your eyes off the road for 1 minute, 1 second, and these e-bikes come out of nowhere. It's not like another car that you will have in your peripheral vision. So a couple of these tragic cases that we've had, literally we've shown that the driver has been on their phone right before the crash. Put their eyes down, just a sec, and a bad accident happens. So being aware at all times, being focused on the road. You can look at your phone when you get to where you're going.
It can wait.
It can wait.
Yeah. Well, Sam, thank you so much for joining us this
morning. My pleasure. Thank you, guys. Love your show so much.
Oh, thank you. To learn more about how Sam and Ash can help you or someone you know, head to samandashlaw.com.